What's up, guys? Ben Samlik here, and we're going to be looking at the S&P 500, the SPY, the ETF that follows the S&P 500, and the charts don't lie, guys. I mean, emotion, anytime you buy a stock or you enter a position, you get emotional, and it doesn't even matter. It could be so logical when you get in. You could see that, read the charts, look at everything, and then some news article comes out or something happens, and you just get emotionally panicked out. But if you guys wanted to look at the charts don't lie. Let me share my screen with you guys just to kind of show you what are we looking at here. Oh, yeah, hold on. Where are we at? Share my screen. Where is that? There it is. Okay. So let's look at the S&P 500. Let's look at the chart, okay? So here's where we're at right now, guys. On a daily chart, we are trending up, riding above the 20-day moving average. We are also in this channel right here, so we're like right in the middle. So at this point, don't be surprised if we pull down to the 20 and hit it, or come close, or even kind of go under it a little, see where we're hitting this bottom trend line. Could come like down and boom, hit that, come back up, or we could just continue up and hit it here, hit the top of this trend, and then just keep bouncing in here for a while. Something could come out where, we hit a top and just boom, we blow through here, come down, and hit some of these averages. But when you look at, where the charts are showing us, and we know with the news, it could go either way at this point, but I think we are in I mean, we are in an uptrend. Even when you look on the month, on the higher time frames to look at, what trend are we in, we are still in an uptrend on the monthly, right? So this still, we have some time, anything could happen to change this. So everything, especially with the volatility, Russia could attack us or Iran could attack us, paybacks for us, for Trump blowing up their nuclear sites. There could be a terrorist, anything could happen in the short run. But if everything keeps the way it is, we look like we're just trending up at this point on the larger time frame, and then on the daily time frame there's this channel. So that's why it's hard to play this on the options, I would say, if you have a small amount, because options are expensive right now because of volatility. So I kind of looked at it to try to do like a straddle or a strangle or something, but it's like this could take a month to get up here or a month to get down here. Like it could just kind of like slowly go up or down. It tends to take the elevator down. So if we go down, it could be a pretty quick down. But if you choose then to buy a put, this thing could take a month to hit the top before it comes down. So you could, like I said, if you buy a put a month out, they're very expensive. They price all this in. They know where everything's at, and the market makers like know how to like make everything always come. That's why I said day trading is like gambling, because overall those market makers are gonna make money in the long run. They might lose when there's a big move in a direction that they didn't, that we didn't really expect, or that they didn't expect. So they could lose, but in the long run, they're winning most of the time. So they're just, at every now and then they got to pull some of their money out to pay off some of the losses from, some big move, but overall the market tends to just trend in certain ways, and they know it, and they act accordingly, and they sell calls and puts accordingly. And so if you're in the futures market, it's just, you got to just look at this on a daily level. If you're day trading, and it's very hard to determine which way it's going, they always fake you out. So in the long run, though, we're going on an uptrend. So if you're putting money in your stock, in your 401k, or your in the stock market, in your IRA or whatever, looks like we're still uptrending. At a certain point, when we break the trends, or when we potentially something major happens, like a pandemic or something crazy, that could then change the direction, of this trend. But as of now, like I said, as long as everything just stays relatively normal in this environment, we know everything's crazy. Normal is like, hard to really understand, but we should just keep trending upwards. That's what I'm seeing here in the S&P 500. So in the short run, I could see us running up to like 650s, 650s maybe. In the short run, we can come down even as far as 620s, 20s, the mid 620s. And then just boom, just keep trending up until something happens, like I said, or until even more, like, I don't know, like the Fed lowers interest rates or something crazy could just blow us even higher out of this trend. I don't know. There can be a hyperbolic move before a major crash in the US stock market because as you see, we have just been running hot for just years and years and years when you look at the stock market. So, what goes up must come down eventually. If we're looking at a long-term chart here, we have been just trending up for years and years and years, right? So anyways, I'll just stop there, but eventually we could just come crashing down. So that being said, the US, could destabilize in some way or another, and some other country could take over, which we've seen in history, right? But for now, U.S. is pretty strong and continuing to trend upward. Now, that doesn't mean like, just because the stock market's trending upwards too, that is also because of money printing. It looks like, wow, our country's doing so amazing. That's part of it, but part of it is just when you print so many dollars, everything gets more expensive. Gold gets expensive, the S&P 500, Bitcoin, everything. But like we said, if there would be some kind of disaster, some kind of war, something that could shake all the economies, everything could revalue back to more more sane pricing, right? But in the meantime, like I said, if they lower interest rates or turn the printing presses up, who knows how far this could go. If you guys look at I think it was wherever Maduro is, their stock market went to like million or something when they hyperinflation. So crazy stuff could happen. If you see my video, I did have a video saying we're crashing up. Dow Jones 50,000. We're actually close to that. If you guys go to my YouTube channel, check my videos, I said that a long time ago that we're crashing up. So instead of crashing the market down, they just keep printing money. We're losing value. It's actually crashing. Our dollar value is crashing. Everything's becoming more expensive. We're actually losing money, and but it doesn't feel like it because everything's going up. So you can watch that video if you want. But that being said, that's kind of what I'm seeing in the charts. If you guys are just wondering what's going on with the S&P, what's going to happen here in the short run, long run, I'll keep updating as we see things happen. But for now, that's what I'm seeing. The S&P just looks like it's an uptrend, right? So until anything changes, that's what we're looking at potentially. But we could, in the short run, go a little fall a little further before we go up to those newer highs. So hope that helped, guys. This is all for educational purposes. Like I said, Ben Samolek here. Be sure to subscribe, like, and I'll get some more videos up. I actually got a special guest coming on soon. Hopefully, if that works out for encouragement for you guys, he has an amazing story. One of my friends, and hopefully he'll come on and share it with us to encourage you guys. But that being said, see you next time. Bye.